Very recently, on October 24th, the Miss Grand International organization managed to reach 6.5 million followers on Instagram. On October 18th, the Miss Grand International's Instagram page suddenly got an influx of followers and went from 2.3 million followers to 5 million followers in the span of a day, even surpassing Miss Universe as the most followed international pageant in the world. Unfortunately for Miss Grand International, after the pageant concluded recently and this gorgeous woman from Brazil was crowned, their follower count dropped from 6.5 million followers to 4.9 million followers and is now standing at 4.3 million followers. And Miss Universe is now at 5.2 million, making Miss Universe the most followed international pageant once again, after being dethroned by Miss Grand International for like 2 days. You might be asking yourself, well, why are you even comparing Miss Grand International to Miss Universe anyway? Well, they did it themselves first with this graphic that they showed at their final pageant, which I thought was quite like shady. I didn't say anything about it, but because I don't want to draw any attention to those kinds of things, because we all know that Miss Grand International do things like that in order to garner attention. And even Miss Grand International's former queen, Lise Garcia, one of their former queens, came out because she was actually at the pageant as a host and things like that, and she said that she did not want to be associated with this kind of rhetoric. She actually mentioned that she explicitly asked them that she did not want to be, on the stage or even near anything like this, which I can understand, because even though Lise Garcia's pageantry career is over, and I don't think she obviously has any plans to go to Miss Universe, she's obviously a business owner, and even in a private capacity, you don't really want to associate yourself with an organization that likes to make enemies the way that Miss Grand International has. Which, by the way, is so rich to me. I mentioned this before, but Miss Grand International's whole thing, guys, literally their whole thing that they stand for is stopping war and violence. But they are continuously antagonizing other international pageants, especially Miss Universe and Miss Supranational. According to Mr. Nawat, the owner of Miss Grand International, most of the unfollows came from Vietnamese people, which I do not blame them, because there was a video allegedly, listen, I don't understand Thai, but according to the translations that I saw, Mr. Nawat, during the pageant, he actually said that the reason why Vietnam only reached the top 20 and didn't go into the top 10 this year was because of certain body parts of hers that did not meet his standards. He specifically referenced her back being too long, whatever that means, her hips being too wide, which, my guy, there's nothing wrong with this woman. And obviously a lot of Vietnamese people took offense to this, because why is this guy basically body shaming this beautiful woman? And I actually thought that Miss Grand International had a pretty good relationship with Vietnam, seeing that Miss Grand International 2021 was from Vietnam. The host country for Miss Grand International 2023 is Vietnam, which that's going to be really interesting to see. Vietnam's national director won the Golden Grand Award this year, which is basically just an award to honor the, I don't want to use the word best, but just to honor a certain national director, which it came into practice this year, and they're probably going to be handing out the Golden Award every year. But anyway, that just goes to show that ostensibly Miss Grand International should have a pretty decent relationship with Vietnam, but it seems not, because Mr. Nawat had to talk about his feelings yet again about a woman's body, which is just no. I think that sometimes when you are literally the owner of a business and you are talking about things pertaining to your business that could lead to you losing people's support for your business, it's better to just keep your opinions to yourselves and your emotion to yourself. I don't know why Mr. Nawat, he's like the most outspoken, not even pageant owner, but business owner ever in the world. You never hear Paula Shugot running her mouth on every little thing that annoys her. I think that for Mr. Nawat, it would be so much better if he just shut up about everything that annoys him or personally offends him, because right now, and not even right now, but during the entirety of Miss Grand International existence, Mr. Nawat has antagonized so many people. The only saving grace for Miss Grand International is that it's a well-organized and beautifully produced pageant that has good quality contestants competing in it. And definitely, if it wasn't for the staff and the amazing people surrounding Mr. Nawat actually holding this thing together, it would definitely fall apart, because this man has been such an annoyance for years, and honestly, it's too much. I don't know why he takes such offense to Vietnamese people unfollowing him now. I mean, he made this bitter post about, yes, he saw that most of the unfollows were Vietnam, and just, you come across as really bitter and honestly kind of needy. If people want to unfollow, just let them unfollow. Speaking of unfollows, the Filipino pageant organization Binibining Pilipinas has unfollowed the Miss Grand International organization on Instagram as well. Now, Binibining Pilipinas has been sending women to Miss Grand International for some time now, but a lot of Filipino women, and usually I don't necessarily speak like this when women do not place, but I must say, I do think that there are some unfair placements for Filipino women at Miss Grand International, because sometimes, a lot of times, especially in recent years, the Philippines have had amazing contestants that just could not get a foot in edgewise at Miss Grand International and, you know, make a really, really good high placement. Meanwhile, while Binibining Pilipinas have unfollowed Miss Grand International, the Miss World Philippines organization suddenly does follow Miss Grand International. So there may be a transfer of the license going on there, but that's not being confirmed.
Guys, I am such a procrastinator and took forever to start editing this video. But after I've already filmed this video, news came out, some more news that the fifth runner-up, or one of the many fifth runner-ups from Mauritius, the one who got into the top 10 through the fan vote, actually resigned as a fifth runner-up, and she had to be replaced, and she was replaced by the Philippines, which is very interesting because a lot of the backlash for Miss Grand International did not only come from Vietnam, but also the Philippines. Like I said, the Philippines usually do not place as well as I believe the girls deserve to place. And so I thought it was interesting that they decided to make the Philippines the fifth runner-up. Of course, I do believe that she obviously deserves it. I also want to see this woman at Miss Universe one day. I thought that she was amazing at the competition. So that's something that happened. Also, and this wasn't as big of a story, but South Africa's representative did come out, and she had some complaints about her stay at Miss Grand International. So as of now, that is all the news I have for you. Please let me know in the comments down below if I did miss something. I know that Miss Grand International post after the competition it has been an absolute mess, to be honest with you. And I know that there's a million other things that happened, small things from former queens coming out, speaking out, queens from other organizations, you know, saying things about Miss Grand International. I cannot possibly touch on every single one of those subjects. But if there's a big thing that I missed, please let me know in the comments down below, because I cannot possibly know every single bit of drama that's happening with Miss Grand International, because there is so much drama happening all of the time.
Guys, I just wonder, when will Miss Grand International cease to be dramatic? You know what? I can appreciate that the pageant itself urges women to be dramatic. They're urged to be really goofy. They're urged to do different things and be different and set themselves apart. After all, it is grand, the one and only. But can we keep the drama to the pageant stage, please, and be professional outside of that? Because the amount of time I've seen this man antagonizing other international pageants while his literal thing is not being violent or starting wars, although he is starting a war of sorts, you know, against these other pageants. It doesn't work. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of this situation. Like I said, in my whole Miss Grand International journey this year, I really enjoy following Miss Grand International as a pageant. It's really well produced. All of the content comes out in a timely fashion. You can watch everything for free on their YouTube channel. I mean, what more can you ask for as a pageant fan? But the fact that this guy continues to do stuff like this, it just turns people off, honestly. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.